Thank you. Especially on the schedule for all the 4 SMK first.
Sure,
And
sure.
then
Rabbi Israhli wa yassirli amri wahlul 'uqdatani min lisani yafqahu qawli. Pihak majlis, pihak kita mohon maaf, ribuan kemaafan kepada semua warga Maya yang hendak menyaksikan atau menonton perkongsian PDPC DLP. Patutnya bermula jam 2 petang atas sebab teknikal, perkara-perkara yang tidak dapat dielakkan, maka kita mohon kemaafan sekali lagi dan kita akan mulakan sekarang. Baik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Selamat bertemu kembali, tapi kali ini di satu sesi perkongsian PDPC DLP. Yang dihormati Encik Hasbi bin Encik, Ketua Pegawai Pendidikan Darul Sembilan. Yang dihormati Cikgu Wan Abdullah bin Wan Abu Bakar, Pengurusi Pacu Penjan selaku Yang di-Pertua Majlis Besar Darul Sembilan. Yang dihormati penceramah jemputan kita Puan Almeida Billy, SI Partners PPD Sibo, para pengetua, guru-guru besar, pegawai-pegawai di PPD Semujan, guru-guru dan semua yang menonton sesi perkongsian ini secara langsung di atas talian. Selamat bersua di alam maya kita ucapkan. Alhamdulillah, bersyukur kita kehadrat Ilahi kerana dengan limpah rahmat dan izinnya pada petang ini dapat kita berhimpun semula dan kita mengalu-alukan kedatangan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Saya bagi pihak pasukan pemacu pendidikan daerah Semujan atau kata ringkasnya Pacu Penjan mengalu-alukan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sekalian di mana program perkongsian ini adalah anjuran bersama Pacu Penjan, Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah dan Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Semujan dan juga Majlis Guru Besar Daerah Semujan. Dan tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, saya menyerahkan terus majlis ini kepada Cikgu Claire Witilawi, anak Michelle Kato, untuk meneruskan dan melancarkan lagi sesi perkongsian ini. Dipersilakan Cikgu Claire.
Terima kasih pengacara majlis. Salam hormat and a very good afternoon to Yang Berbahagia Tuan Haji Husini bin Bakir, the Head of Department for Master Human Resource Management and Finance Department, Encik Hasbi bin Aceh, Semunjan District Education Officer, Cikgu Wan Abdullah bin Wan Abdul Bakar, Chairman of Pasukan Panju Penjan, Pendidikan Semunjan, to all the officers in the Education Office, principals, headmasters, headmistresses, teachers, and to everyone who is with us today. A very warm welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining us in Bual Bicara Pendidikan 2021, organized by Pacu Penjan Pendidikan Semunjan. I'm Claire Witilawi, SIAC Plus Bahasa from Semunjan District Education Office. I will be your moderator for this sharing session. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to have everyone here today, and thank you for your time and effort for attending this session. To all our audience, you are invited to send us your question in the chat column in the YouTube platform. We will forward the question to the speaker during the Q&A session. We would like to start the session by introducing a very established educator as our speaker today. Our esteemed speaker is Madam Imelda Emilia Billy. She is a very experienced teacher and has been in the education world for 23 years. Madam Imelda started her teaching career in one of the 99 pioneer smart schools, Sekolah Menengah Pengiran Omar, Sipitang, Sabah in 1998. She was active in her career when she was appointed as an English language Guru Bestari for a school, besides being a state English debate adjudicator and also a state level trainer, especially in English literature. She moved to SMK Bintulu in 2002 and continued with her involvement in English debates, besides being one of the state English revised curriculum trainer. In 2003, she moved to SMK St. Elizabeth, Cebu, and spent 8 months there. While at SMK St. Elizabeth, she coordinated the British Council Connecting Classroom program and represented Malaysia to the British Council Education Expo in Taiwan in 2009. In 2011, she was appointed the Penolong Kanan Pentadbiran of SMK Methodist. As firm believer of the teaching of mathematics and science in English, she spearheaded the DLP program for her school, besides advocating 21st century learning and professional learning community, PLC, at the district level. In 2017, she was appointed the principal of SMK Song and stood firm in her belief that mathematics and science need to be taught in English. Thus, she started the DLP program at her school while advocating 21st century learning and PLC too. Other than that, she also gives SPM English workshop throughout Sarawak due to her experience with the paper. She has since joined the Cebu District Office as a School Improvement Partner Plus in June 2020, yet continues to promote DLP, 21st Century Learning, and PLC in schools in Sarawak. Ladies and gentlemen, The title of our sharing session is A Blessing or a Curse, an objective and fun approach in the teaching and learning of DLP subjects. As we all know, the Ministry of Education, Science and Technological Research, MASTER, under the state of Sarawak, has taken the big step in 2020 to implement dual language program DLP in all the BM medium primary schools in Sarawak, starting with the Year 1 pupils as the first cohort. The objective of our talk is to provide the support for teachers in Simujan and also elsewhere throughout Sarawak to share ideas and knowledge through professional dialogue. The objective of the sharing for the next session is on how to create and to make the teaching and learning lesson on dual language program as fun and meaningful for the students. Thus, the focus of this topic is to equip our teachers holistically in three aspects: pedagogy, curriculum, and assessment. The common issues faced by the teachers when teaching mathematics and science in English are: teachers have content knowledge in mathematics and science subjects, but are not capable to deliver the lesson in English. Teachers who are fluent in English but do not have sufficient skill to create interesting lesson. And also the group of teachers who lack in content knowledge, teaching skills, and communication skills in English. To overcome these challenges, our esteemed speaker today will be doing her sharing on ways to overcome these issues. So please join me in welcoming Madam Imelda.
Wow. Thank you, Claire, for the long-winded introduction. All right. Before I go forward, okay, yang dihormati Tuan KPPD Semunjan, Cikgu Hasbi bin Aceh, Pengurusi Pacu Pendan yang merangkap YDP MGB Semunjan, Cikgu Wan Abdullah bin Wan Abu Bakar, juru acara kita yang amat berpengalaman, okay, dan hikmat amat masih diperlukan, Cikgu Awang Syukran bin Awan Zain, Claire herself, Ernest, and the rest of all PPD Semunjan, pengetua dan juga guru besar daripada PPD Semunjan, and all the rest of you out there who are actually watching via YouTube. Okay, a very good afternoon, dan saya mohon agar dibenarkan untuk meneruskan ni dalam bahasa Inggeris. Okay, I'm truly honoured to be given this opportunity to share my insights or my input on DLP Sarawak. And then what I share this afternoon are mostly actually from my own experience as a teacher, and then as an administrator when I was a PK1, and also as a pengetua. All right. So without much further ado, let me do my presentation and let's see how we go about it. All right. So, okay. Now, DLP or the Dual Language Program, is it a blessing or a curse for Sarawak itself? Okay, so let's have a look at it, and then by the end of this whole session, we will decide whether it's a blessing or a curse. All right, so let's have a look. Now, according to our Plan Pembangunan Pendidikan Malaysia, which started in 2013, okay, which will actually end in 2025. All right, our DLP actually is part of our aspirasi murid, which is kemahiran di bahasa. Okay, so every student by the end of their learning, which is around 11 or 13 years, okay, it depends on whether how long they spend their time in kindergarten and whether they went all the way to secondary school, that is Form 5, or if they go to Form 6, meaning that it will be around 13 to 15 years. Okay, but by the end of the day, every student should be able to converse fluently in Bahasa Melayu and also Bahasa Inggeris or in English. Now, kemahiran di bahasa, part of our aspirasi murid, okay, is setiap kanak-kanak, every child, okay, has a minimum skill or proficiency of Bahasa Malaysia and English. Okay, so it's encourageable. Now, this was mentioned this morning in this morning's session by Dr. Lambat, whereby it mentioned that every child must have bahasa Melayu is their bahasa kebangsaan and bahasa perpaduan, whereas English is their communicative language, international communicative language, meaning that by the end of the day, all our students are able to communicate fluently in bahasa Malaysia and in English, okay, in school or after that at their workplace and so on. Now, learning a second language at a young age is actually not as hard as we really think of. All right, learning a second language at childhood is easier compared to when you are in your adulthood. This is actually from studies carried out. Okay, so like what our YB Datuk Nancy Shukri mentioned this morning, the benefits of dual lingualism or the ability to communicate in another language, all right, is we are able to communicate with the world globally at a global platform, okay? Whereas at the job level, we are able to get jobs globally. Let's say you are, how do I say, restricted to only one language, meaning that you can't communicate in another language. Let's say we only know Bahasa Melayu, okay? Meaning that if you want to work in China, you are not able to communicate with people around you. So this is actually a problem. Now, dual language or dual lingualism among children, okay, it actually promotes the ability to focus, okay, the ability to focus. It promotes problem solving skills. It promotes, how do I say that? Students are able to follow complex directives easier. Okay. It also promotes team building among students, and it promotes peer negotiation, and it promotes social skills among our children. So that's why I mean, like, it's nicer for our students to be able to, communicate in a one, two, maybe three. Some students have three languages, but for us, yeah, it's only English and BM for the time being. Let's have another look here. Now, is it too small? Okay, well, in line with the PPPM aspiration for students to master bilingualism skills, DLP provides opportunity for our students to adopt English through the subject of mathematics, science, information and communication technology, as well as design of technology. RBT actually was supposed to be taught in English, but it was later, shelved. Okay, so DLP enables the Malaysian community to increase access to the exploration of various knowledge to compete globally, meaning that we are at a global platform by having, being able to communicate. Okay, and then the dual language program is a program under the government initiative to empower Bahasa Malaysia. So it's in conjunction or in line with our MBM and MBI. All right. So the program has been initiated in Malaysia in 2016 at first, but let's go to DLP Sarawak. DLP Sarawak, as it was mentioned this morning, is a bit different. It's an extension of the original DLP done in 2016. So DLP Sarawak was initiated by MESTA. This is a very bold move, okay, in 2020, with the aim at strengthening fluency in the English program among the students in Sarawak to increase their employability in the global market. So you see, we want our Sarawakian in the future to be able to work globally. Okay, so in line with the revolution, fourth industrial revolution. So we are moving towards that and really need to go toward it. So last year, when we actually had our session with our esteemed YB Dr. Anwar, he did mention it again, okay, in August, whereby DLP, the need for DLP, and Sarawak DLP will continue regardless of how it is going to be. So the DLP is aiming at strengthening the fluency of English among our students to be able to work globally. Now, let's look at this one. Now, teachers, we have the challenges. This morning, Dr. Hood mentioned, Sarawak, we do not have any problems with, we don't want to say we don't have problems, but we don't really face much problems, okay, with DLP because we have the support from KPM, like what Dr. Azahar mentioned. Okay, we have the support from JPNS, like what Dr. Hood mentioned. So we have challenges. Okay, so like Claire mentioned earlier, this afternoon, our objective is actually focusing on the 4 elements. All right. First, teachers who have the content, but not really proficiency. All right. So teacher will have the content, but not really the proficiency. Next, we have teachers with the proficiency. Sorry, I think it's spelling error there, but not really the content. And then number three, we do have another problem whereby no proficiency, no content. So that one is a bit heavy. We will go to that one later. But let's look at 1 and 2. And then after that, we'll go to 3 and 4. Now, number 1, teachers with content. Uh, Teachers are able to teach math and sciences. They are good. As far as I know, our current teachers, I won't say those who finish or graduated in, I mean, more than 20, those who are in service for more than 20 years, you should be able, you are like almost like my age. So we did math and science in BM in those days. Okay. But those less than 10 years teaching, you are that group of people in PPSMI. You are those first batches of PPSMI. So I don't think we have much problem with proficiency at that. Okay. I don't think we have that much problem with it because you are able to do English. But then if really you do have content and then you are not confident with your ability to speak in English, okay, so one way of doing it is an easy way out. I'm not teaching you to cut, being slack. I'm not teaching you to saying that, okay, I can't do this, so I'm going to do that. But no. But one way of doing it at an easier pace or an easier level is you can use videos to teach. While doing my research for this topic, actually, I found out that there were like tons and tons of YouTubes, okay, lessons that you can use, you can utilize for your students. For example, there's this site called Operation Ouch. All right. There's another site called Homeschool Pops. Those are just a few that I mentioned. They are actually really awesome for sciences that can teach science, actually topics. I let, very easy to share with you. I let my 9-year-old daughter watch. Okay. In conjunction, similarly to what she's learning in school, the same topic, I let her watch. And then by the end of it, she was like, oh, that's interesting. I learned something. So why do we want to go to such troubles to actually, trying to utilize our own self, but whereby we have tons of resources online. So that's one way. Another way of doing it for teachers, if you are like, you're not confident with your ability to use English, is a fellow teacher. Another teacher in your school, okay, to help you out. What was there's a saying that if you are shy, then you won't learn anything. But so try not to be shy. Okay, be bold actually. Okay, get help from another teacher who is proficient in the language. Go and ask, can you help me with this? I mean, teachers are willing to help in a way. Well, if you can't, go and approach your local SISC, which is actually easier for you to get along. Now, finally, another way to get through with it is via PLC. One way of doing it, I mean, I encouraged that when I was in my own school as a pengetua. I had teachers who can really do math and science in English. So we organize PLC. We organize peer coaching, whereby those who are more fluent, who are able to use English well, they will help out those who can't. Okay, because you have the content. The only problem that is hampering you from moving forward, the only problem that is keeping you behind is the proficiency. And I love to use the quote said by our esteemed YB, Datuk Michael Manyin. Okay, if you can't do it at this level, gasak, just go forward, go on with it. In the end, you build that confidence. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. So proficiency wise, there are ways to go about. Now let's go to proficiency. Those who are able to communicate well, no content. All right. Now, one way of getting around it is to get coaching from SIAC, SIAC Plus, who are actually science and math with math and science and math background. Okay, those people could help you. That's what I did with our Cebu level. Well, those they can't, we send our SISC down to their level to help them out. Or science option teachers. That was what I did with my own school teachers when I was in Song. Okay, we have teachers who are proficient with the language, but they are, how do I say that? They need help with the content. So we got our teachers to help with the content. Same goes with when I was PK1 in SMK Methodist. Okay, we had teachers who are really good with the content. All right, so they help those who are slightly having problems with content, but they do have those with proficiency, but not the but without the content. So it's actually peer coaching in a way. Now, another way to get around it is pengetuas or guru besar. You can help. You can actually utilize this is the mentor-mentee program. All right, uh, teachers who are better, who has the content, all right, can help out teachers who has the proficiency but lacking in the content. It's a win-win situation because if you carry that out, all right, it will actually help both sides. Another one is I did not mention here, but it came to mind is collaborative teaching. Collaborative teaching, or we can say it's peer coaching in a way. All right, collaborative teaching is two teachers. You put two teachers into one class, and they help each other out. So it can be an English language teacher helping a science teacher. But of course, we need to know what our our friends use, who use Malay would say adab bertegur. So we have to know how to actually help our friends out when they are not able to do so. Now, another way, finally, of course, is PLC again. So what we can do is lesson study. All right, lesson study can help a teacher without the content, all right, to be able to improve in the content part. Now, a more serious tone here. No proficiency, no content. Oh my God. When I look at that, when Cikgu Muhammad asked me, how about those without proficiency and without content? That is actually a heavy task to carry out. All right. As a school administrator, I'm like, if it was me, I'll go like, oh my God. But then, okay, looking at it objectively, we do have programs. We do have programs that can help us with coaching our teachers who are lacking in proficiency and lacking in content. All right. ELTC has a lot of things to actually to help us with. And at the same time, during my, how do I say that? During my exploration with Delima itself, okay, our site, whereby we have our Google Classroom and so on, okay, under Delima, you can click under Guru, you can click under Activity, or then you can check out. There's a lot of actually content. How do I say that? Content materials, or we can say courses that you can actually go into and learn from. So that's one way. And then you can learn also from YouTube's. You can learn also from, books will be quite a lot of a problem, but then YouTube actually. And then SISC could help you, and fellow Panitia members could help you. You can attend courses and workshops to upgrade yourself. Okay, there's a lot of those online. And then finally, for our PGBs, do your gallery work just to see which teacher needs help more. And for the teachers themselves, among the teachers themselves, you can do video critiques. All right. Video critiques is not only limited to among yourself. Actually, you can record your lessons and actually get another teacher from another district. We did that when we were like in Cebu, we did that before, and then in when we were in Song, we did that before. We shared it with other people and asked them how we can improve on our lessons. So far, I hope that there are some input with it, but along the way you can ask questions. All right. Now let's go to the next page on fun for the kids. Okay, I hope I answered all those challenges. If not, then we'll try to go about it. All right. Now, okay, next one. Now, how can we make our lesson fun? How can we make DLP great for our kids? Uh, when I had a conversation with a few friends, and then I had a conversation with our moderator, Cikgu Claire, a few days back, actually via Telegram. So she was telling me like teachers are feeling that it's a burden or it's a bit heavy for them to do DLP. Am I right, Claire? I hope so. So it's a bit heavy. So how can we make our DLP lessons great for our students? Okay, how can it be a wonderful experience for our students? If you, let's say for me, okay, personally, I feel that one, our teachers should have that how should I say that, should have that positiveness, okay, when they are asked to teach DLP. So they should be positive about it. They should not feel that teaching DLP is a burden for them. All right, it's actually an honor to be able to do DLP, especially for Sarawak. So as a Sarawakian, it's actually something big, something huge. Now, when you want to make DLP great for your students, okay, make your learning simple. Okay, simplify your learning or simplify your lessons. Um, don't give our kids so much that they cannot handle. It's like, you know, you ask them to carry out, mathematics, when you are doing plus and minus, okay, you are teaching the terms, addition, okay, you are teaching the terms division. Make it simple for them, okay? They are 7 years old, they are 8 years old. Next year, they'll be 9. Okay, so if you make things, change my slides. Oh, my slide is not changing? Oh, okay. It is clear? Okay. Now, simplify our lesson, all right? Make it easy. Use graphic organizer. I'm going to show you how. After this, I'll show you like what kind of graphic organizers you can use and so on and so forth, all right? But simplify your lesson. Make it simple for our students to understand, okay? Remember, our current DLP students are primary 1, primary 2. Next year, they'll be in primary 3. Those who are doing a DLP, optionally, they are actually now in primary 3. Okay, now, make learning and engagement. This is important. We have been looking at a lot of things, and people are telling us, make learning and engagement. Make learning and engagement. But what is learning and engagement? How can it be engaging for people? I'll show you a video later. Now, making learning and engagement is by incorporating hands-on activity. Students love, remember they are primary 1, primary 2. They love working. A lot of kids are actually very kinesthetic. They love moving around. They love working with their hands. They love jumping up and down in class. So incorporate hands-on activities via cooperative learning in the classroom. All right. Next, apply the multiple intelligences in your teaching. Howard Gardner gave us 8. All right. So our students can sing through their multiplication table. Remember, primary 1, primary 2, they are not going for major exams yet. Okay, it's a learning process at the moment. So why should we burden them with, okay, if you don't get your timetable right, you get punished? No, please don't do that. It's a formative learning. So apply all these multiple intelligences in your teaching, right? Via singing, via movement. I remembered when I was teaching my son, he was having like, problems learning at that time. So what I could do was, because he's a very, very visual kinesthetic person, he learned visually. Okay, if you gave him numbers, he won't be able to sort that out. But if you gave him things that he could touch, he's able to do it. All right. So what happened was, when I was teaching him at that time, okay, helping out with him, I brought back stones, those pebbles, a lot of pebbles. Okay, I gave him 5 plus 7 in number. He looked at me as if I came from Mars. So I gave him pebbles, lots of pebbles. We had tons of pebbles at home at that time. So I brought him pebbles. So I gave him 5. So I said, you have another 7. So how many pebbles? So he counted. But remember, at that age, he was only like in primary 1. So of course, we have to move forward from there, but it is an initial stage. So students learn by touching, okay, by having things in front of them, okay. Then you make learning fun, okay. We'll talk about learning engagement more later, but at the same time, you make learning fun, okay. When there's too much learning for the students, they get, brain burnout. There's something new nowadays. Okay. I honestly will tell you, if you have PDPR from 6:55 up to 1 p.m., you will feel that you are dead after that. I honestly felt that. Okay, if you have PDPR like 6:55 in the morning, you started PDPR sitting in front of the laptop or using your phone, and the teachers teach one teacher after another until 1 p.m. I'll tell you, you will get a breakdown. So making learning fun is you need a brain break. Okay, give the students a few minutes just to take off from learning, and you see that they are refreshed after that. Okay, so limit your class rules. Um, the moment you go into class and you tell your students, please do not do this, do not do that, do not do this. If you have 20, do not do something. Remember, 7 years old, 8 years old. Do you think they will accept it? Do you think they're gonna? I think before you did anything, before you started teaching, your student go like, I'm not going to like this lesson anymore. So limit your class rules, just the basic ones. Okay, so make learning fun that way. Now, make learning an experience. Why is learning an experience important? So, learning is important in the sense that, how do I say that? An experience is important in the sense that it can be applied to their daily lives. I remember teaching my nephew at that time. Okay, the mathematical, how do I say that? The timetables. Okay, I was doing 6 with him at that time. It was a few years back. I was doing 6 with him. Well, I did not have the patience of Moses. Um, I almost lost everything when I was trying to explain it to him. Okay, I explained 6 times, he still couldn't get it. Now, I was asking him 6 times 7. He kept on forgetting. He went from 6 times 1 up to 6 times 6, but the moment 6 times 7, he went like, okay. So I was thinking. Then I asked him, what happened if, let's say, there's you are going to buy ice cream, all right? You need to buy ice cream. So you need, and each ice cream costs you, let's say 60 cents. So you are going to buy 7 for everyone at home, all right? So how much do you need to pay? Do you know what he did? He answered 4 ringgit and 20 cents immediately. And I was like, what? And I was like, excuse me, did you just answer me 4 ringgit 20 cents, but you couldn't do 6 times 7? And he looked at me and went like, isn't it 4 ringgit 20 cents? I said, how do you come up with that? He said, it's 60 cents each. I need to buy 7, so 4 ringgit 20 cents. And I was like, oh gosh, he just did 6 times 7. So real life situations. So nowadays we tend to try to bring that into the student's life, applying real life learning into it. Now, another one is active learning. So what is active learning? Okay, people have been talking about active learning, and then what is it? Active learning is actually teaching methods and strategies that involve the students' participation. The students must be there with you, and engagement in a meaningful way during class time. So when you are teaching, the students shouldn't be somewhere else. Their mind shouldn't be somewhere else. They should be with you. All right. We are going to talk more about that later. But this one, I'm going to show you something. Okay. So this is a cause and effect. I mean, this is science. Okay. You can use my graphic organizers. So this is cause and effects. Okay. There's a lot of it here. I did share that with your Semunjan SISC Plus, so she can share it with you later. This is actually classroom participation. Okay. How do I say that? Learning. Okay, learning through experience. All right. So the students are actually doing experiments. Okay, mathematics. Okay, they are doing it hands-on now. Okay, so this is how we go about multiple intelligences. You have your linguistic. Okay, linguistic students are better with reading, writing, debates, and word games. Okay, whereby logical, mathematical students are better with experimenting. Those who love to do experiment, let them lead it. But then we have the others following. All right, so these are all the 8 multiple intelligences that you can use. Can we move in class? Yes, why not? They are in primary 1 and primary 2. So we should be able to do it now. This actually I took from the book. Okay. Remember when I was mentioning it to you earlier, I went through the text. You see, when I was given this task to do DLP with all of you, I actually went and looked at the primary 1 and primary 2 science and mathematics textbooks. Okay. The BM version and the English version. Okay. So when I look at it, I was thinking like, yeah, there's not much difference actually. So why are our teachers, feeling burdened with it? Why are they feeling so demotivated with it? Okay. So here, it's a task sheet. Or we can put it as a note, or you can decorate your class with it. Okay, as a reminder for our students. It's a primary 1, chapter 7, about sizes. So or shapes. Sorry, it's about shapes. Okay. Now pyramids. Okay, when you are teaching pyramids, show them a picture of the real pyramids. Okay, so bring in the real world to them. When you are teaching about sphere, bring a ball. Show them a ball. This is a sphere. Okay, you are using it every day. Rubik cubes for cubes. Cylinder. Okay, I could only find this. Okay, picture. The cuboid, is a sponge, a brick, a box, a shoe box is a cuboid. A cone, easily, ice cream cone. The Christmas tree. So these are all the things that they can see everywhere around them. To their left, to their right, everywhere. So why are we not teaching them that way? All right. So with this, I'm going to show you. Let me see first. Okay, we are going to talk about engagement later, but I'm going to show you a video on how it's done. All right, the fun of learning. So I'll go here, then okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I hope you can hear.
In primary ones, mostly kids are so nervous about learning about maths. After they go through all these games, they're much more relaxed and they learn more and they are excited to know more about maths. Now they have more opportunity to get to hands-on games and learn through games for maths, these sort of things. But our time doesn't have these sort of things.
Manipulative such as fraction lists, multiplication and division card. It makes it more fun and maths lessons will be much less boring.
Yeah, we play a lot of games and it's even better than last year's.
P1 he doesn't like maths, but now he's very excited and he loves maths also and he's learning more.
I can count money faster. If I'm very hungry, I can just go and give the auntie the money and get the food.
For all these activities that we are doing in the school, we felt that the children are better engaged, and because of their better engagement, we felt that they have developed more positive attitudes towards their learning. So one of the example would be we teach mathematics through songs. The other way is to use a storybook to teach problem sums in the classrooms. The teacher used a wide range of pedagogies in the class. One of the key pedagogy is also the activity-based lessons in the classrooms. So pupils are engaged in learning by doing activities. The other programs that we have is to have maths games in the school. There are two types of games that they play. One is the maths stations that they have every Wednesday. The other will be the maths games day that we organize for the children. We basically want to inject fun in learning for the children. So PE elements such as running, hopping are actually incorporated in our maths games, where we also design the games such that it is related to their classroom learning. What is important is how the children are learning and how they are being engaged in their classroom so that they become better learners in mathematics.
Okay, so that's one. All right. So I'm going to let you watch another one. Okay, I'm going to let you watch another video, and then we'll see why learning engagement is important. Hold on. Is it visible? I hope it is. Oh, hold on. Okay.
Inquiry-based learning has made our students more responsible in their learning. Instead of waiting for the teachers to give them answers, they investigate problems and they contribute their ideas, and from there they do research on their own ideas or whether their ideas are relevant to the scientific ideas, as in the theories. And that's when they will realize that scientific theories can be applied to their daily lives.
I learned about plants and how they help us. Like, for example, the aloe vera can also help to heal cuts and be made into medicines. We went to the butterfly enclosure to learn about the butterfly life cycle. I saw a lot of creepy caterpillars, and also I saw a lot of colorful butterflies. I don't get to see them every day. I have learned about heat transfer from the experiment of the hot Milo earlier. We learned about that metal is a good conductor of heat, and ceramic materials are a poor conductor of heat.
ICT basically provides them different platforms in gathering data, doing their research, and so on. It exposes them to the various modes of gathering information and analyzing them.
I like science because I can explore the world, and when I grow up, I want to be a scientist.
Okay, so after watching two videos on how do I say that? After watching two videos on math, one is math, the other one is science. Let's go back to our what is engagement. Okay, let's go back to watch it. Now we are talking about engagement. In both videos, they talk about engagement. They talk about engagement in learning. They talk about engagement in the teaching. They talk about students' engagement. So what is engagement? So engagement is defined as a strong relationship between the student, the teacher, the families. So it's actually, you see, it goes around with our TS25 schools actually. Okay, a strong relationship between the student, the teachers, families, and school, and strong connection between the school and the broader community. This is actually, you see, when you talk about DLP, you talk about TS25, it all goes around there. Okay, you talk about 21st century learning, you talk about PLC, it all goes, it's all interconnected. Okay, like what our previous Pengara mentioned, it's all connecting the dots, and it all goes turning into a big picture. picture. So student engagement is a key element of a positive school climate with a large body of research linking to academic achievements. So basically, we are going back to our PPPM. This is going to our TS25, whereby we wanted to have a sekolah berkesan. We wanted to have our students who are how do I say that, valued students. So the research has demonstrated that engaging students in the learning process increases their attention and focus, and thus motivate them to practice higher level critical thinking skills and promote meaningful learning experiences. Now, the 7 aspects of engagement is actually responsiveness. Our students are more responsive. Curiosity, they wanted to know. Discovery, anticipation, persistence, initiation, investigation, and of course, these are all part of our education itself. So, let me go forward again. Now, how do we get our students to be engaged? Well, like it was said earlier, use inquiry-based learning. Use inquiry-based learning. Make the learning real. The students are able to know, to learn, to touch, to hold, to experience. Connect with learning and connect with the teachers. This is how the students are engaged. How? PBL. You have heard about that. Project-based learning. The students learn via PBL. I remember when my daughter in primary 1, I think if I'm not wrong, she came back. We need to plant. You remember those days when you need to plant, how do I say that? Those green beans in water with your cotton buds, cotton, and then you keep one in darkness, and then another one in sunlight, and then after 3 days, which one will sprout? That is actually project-based learning. So the students can do that. Primary 1, I think, there's a chapter on sunlight and air and water. You can do that. Meaningful education. What they learn, they can apply to their daily lives. Remember, when you teach money, you teach decimal, you use money. So it is, in a way, they are actually applying in their daily lives. So that is how you teach your kids. I mean, our kids, in a way. Now, how to improve student engagement? Use different teaching methods. If you keep on using the board, the students will actually end up not liking the lesson. Allocate the class time to getting to know your students. You need to know each of your students individually, in a way, because some are faster, some are slower. So in a way, we need to know their pacing. Merge technology into the class. Students love using the laptops. They love using technology in their class. So why not bring it in? Use project-based learning. Again, you see it was mentioned here. Project-based learning. So students love working with their classmates. They enjoy doing it, hands-on learning. So students can explore the issues. Play some learning games in class. That's not the one in math. I really love it. They were playing actually, but they enjoy it and they were all learning. So teaching strategies, important interactive teaching strategies, collaborative learning. Students work together. Debates. Put them into teams. One team has a cow, the other team has maybe a caterpillar or a butterfly. So they're actually debating about it. Peer tutoring. Those who are faster in class, they can teach those who are a bit slower. Classroom discussion. Encourage the students to give their opinion. It's not always right. We as teachers, we are no longer the doer in class, but we are the guide or the brainstorming, collectively solve a problem by asking everyone to add to the solution. So these are the few ways or strategies that we as teachers, regardless of actually, I wouldn't say math and science only, not saying math and science only, but in other subjects also, we can do this. All right. Now let's recap. We are almost at the end. Let's recap. If the lessons are engaging, the students will want to learn. Am I right? Yeah, I think that's very right. A teacher's role is to inspire, motivate, and captivate the students' attention. Learning engagement is taking students' attention, curiosity, and optimism and passion, and bring it to another level. So students will want to learn. They will want to achieve. where engagement happens, all right? If the students are not engaged, they will be lacking in that. Learning engagement sets the student on the path to success. If the students are engaged, they're automatically, they want to learn automatically. So they are willing to go beyond that step. They are willing to go beyond that level. Okay, when the students are engaged, okay, they make a psychological investment in learning. They try hard to learn what the school offers. They take pride not simply earning the formal indicators of success via grades, but in understanding the material and incorporating or internalizing it in their life. So they're actually living it. All right. So student engagement or learning engagement matters because it takes a lesson and makes it real. Okay. And then the students are connect with learning and connect with the teachers. So students are engaged because it all goes back to the teachers made an effort to plan the lesson. So in a way, we have to do the planning, okay, in order to get our students to be engaged. So far, I hope that I've touched how we should go about. Now, the final part of this whole session, okay, is assessment in the LP. When we talk about primary 1 and primary 2, because our current DLP is in primary 1 and primary 2, okay, are they going to sit for their UPSR? No, there's no UPSR. Primary 1 and primary 2, are they sitting for summative exam in the end by the end of the year? Do we? Okay, I remember the exams for them will start somewhere in primary 4, 5. So that is the best 3 years. For me, I would love to teach these children. These are the best 3 years of learning. Why? Because the students can be accessed via PBD. We are doing it. Pentadbiran Bilik Darjah, classroom-based assessment. Okay. So make your assessment formative. You are teaching them about trees. Then test them on trees. Try not to teach them about trees. Then tomorrow you test them about an elephant. For sure, our kids won't be able to answer, okay? Or animals, okay? What you teach, you test them on if you want to. I would say test, it will be evaluation. You evaluate them on, okay? Make assessment fun. Is there a rule that says assessment needs to be like, 40-minute test, you sit down and you sit through it? I mean, tests are actually very scary, those who went, all of us who went through university, final semester test is really the end of the world for us. But so make assessment fun for our kids. You can test them via, maybe a quiz or a singing session can be a test for our students. Okay, make assessment easy. All right, don't make it I use the word easy here is simplify your assessment. All right, don't give them 50 questions. Primary 1, 50 questions, 40 minutes. My God, those kids are going to be dead soon. Why don't we do 10? 10 in 40 minutes. Okay, that's a bit too easy. Maybe 20 in 40 minutes. Or now lessons is like 30 minutes. So 20 questions in just a lot. 10 in 30 minutes would be good. Okay, so think about that, fellow teachers. And then of course guru besar and pengetuas also. Incorporate PBL and inquiry-based learning in your assessment. Okay, so this will be interesting. Okay, so make assessment fun, make it formative, make it easy. So do not think of assessment as a burden. Okay, do not try to kill your students through assessing them. All right, so I hope that I answered every question. So my huge thank you to PPD Semunjan for giving me this opportunity to share. Before I end it, it's like I actually had a lot, but due to time limitation, so while we are doing DLP, actually, because learning in English, our time allocated for English lesson is actually not sufficient for students to master the language itself. So that's why we need the extra input for students to be proficient in the language. So at the same time, our students now, in our current world, our kids are actually constantly stimulated. Okay, so we must keep our students engaged within a lesson to ensure that they are learning and understand the topics that we are teaching. So remember, teachers are no longer the doers, but also the guide. And then with that, I really thank all of you for listening. and for your participation in this session. I hope I managed to answer or managed to clear some doubts regarding the LP. And of course, we had our support from KPM, JPNS, and of course the Sarawak government itself via MESTA. So with that, I really thank all of you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Madam Imelda, for the meaningful and beneficial insights on how to improve the teaching of DLP subjects. Hopefully, this session can help to transform the teaching and learning process in the classroom and indirectly improve our students' academic performance. Dear audience, we are now at the Q&A session for a talk. So for those who are still with us from the beginning of the session, I would like to congratulate you. And besides that, we also would like you to send us your question via our live or broadcasting through YouTube. You can just type your question in the chat box. Okay, so let me go through our chat column. Cikgu Ernest, also you may post the questions there just in case I missed any. So here, okay, so I have one question here for Madam Imelda. Here it goes. How come we call it dual language if we teach only single language in terms of methodology and terminology? How come we call it dual language if we teach only single language, that is English language, in terms of methodology and terminology?
Okay, that question is actually very interesting. Now, for me, when you talk about dual language, right, you are teaching in English, all the terms are in English, all the metaphysics are in English, and yet you are saying that it's a dual language program. Now, what we can do is like this. Formal teaching, when you are teaching in class, use English. But when you go to the student, you explain, right? You explain to the student, you can actually use Bahasa Melayu to explain to that one particular student, not the whole class, right? When you are teaching, remember you are using English and English, okay? But when you go and explain to the student, you can actually say, ini, alright? So, cikgu bagi tahu ini, you are actually or how do we say that? Interjecting Malay using English, okay? Intermittent usage. So, a few words for the students in order for them to understand, but not with the whole class, especially only individual students. It happens when I was in my previous school in SMK Methodist. It is a fully DLP school. Yes, of course, we have students who are weak. We have those in the M classes. And I will tell you, not every student can understand in English, okay? In our Bahasa Sarawak, macam ni kau ngajar pun pia juaknya, okay? So we had our students teaching in English, but at the end of it, they still small percentage of it, they did the explanation in BM for the students. So for me, that won't kill the English language. Okay, the need for DLP, it won't kill it fully. It is still there, but we are helping our students to be able to understand the terms, the methodology of it in English, but at the same time they understand it via their own language in BM. All right, so I hope it answers your question. Okay, I hope it answers your question.
It's very clear.
Okay, without doubt, DLP will assist in killing two birds with one stone. However, what is the teacher's readiness in teaching content subject by using English language? From one of our participants. Okay, what is the English teacher's readiness in teaching content subject by using English language? My question is like this: are the teachers proficient? If they are proficient, we only need to help them with the content. So we like I mentioned earlier, okay, those teachers who have the content, okay, can assist them with assist those lacking in content, all right, but not really. I mean, it won't kill the whole program. So via what is that? Can I say peer coaching, via lesson studies? Okay, it is a sharing. So it can be a mentor-mentee program for the school. Okay, but it all comes back to our own teachers also. Are we ready to go forward? Okay, are we ready? But I won't say are we ready, we are ready. Okay, we must be positive about this. Okay, not positive in COVID sense, but positive in DLP. All right. We must be positive that we can, because I believe what our YB Datuk Michael Manyan said, we have to take the first step. If we don't take the first step, how can we move forward? So, like our sense, if we cannot, gasak lah dulu. For sure, when we take the first step, we can do it. Right? Okay.
Okay, Madam Imelda.
Ah,
I think I spot another question here
all right.
in the chat box. It goes like this. How many percentage of DLP achievement during PDPR session, especially in rural schools,
All right.
which have no communication? So I'll just rephrase this question to make it easier. So what is the effectiveness of PDPR on DLP subjects, especially in schools with limited access to internet? So what is your view on this issue as SI Partner Plus and former principal in one of the outskirts secondary school in Sarawak?
Oh, this is a big question for me. Okay. Although I've moved, all right, my previous school in Song, which is a rural school, I would say, or in interior school, my heart is always there. Okay, I still continue to help whenever I can with Song itself. Song as a general, I wouldn't say only my school, but also the primary schools over there. Now, when you talk about PDPR, it's not only DLP, When you talk about PDPR, it's every single subject is affected. The whole education system is affected. Okay? And it's worse still when it comes to the rural area, whereby accessibility is an issue, whereby gadget is an issue, okay? Whereby even our students' mentality is an issue, right? So it's not only DLP. I won't say it's only DLP affected, but everything is affected with our current COVID situation, whereby PDPR is actually being carried out. And if you look at the situation right now, there is a possibility that PDPR will continue until the end of the year for our primary school students. So is it going to be affected? Yes, it is going to be, definitely going to be affected, not only for DLP, not only for science and math, but then we have to make an effort, all right? Personally, what we did this is from experience, personally what we did when we were when I was still in Song was, because I was affected by COVID last year, okay, before I became an SIP. Now, what we did was, we had no choice. We had to do, how do I say that, sending our modules to the students, to the longhouses. Okay, the teachers can't do it, but then we inform the parents, okay, but via blast, shout outs, blast, news blast, in order for them to come and collect the modules, right? The modules were collected at the local, how do I say, village shops, at the WAF, okay. Some that we could send, we sent to them, and for them to actually do their work at home. Now, of course, a module cannot replace a teacher. Okay, a module is not able to replace a teacher, but our effort needs to be there. So how is DLP affected by PDPR? Yes, it is affected, but not only DLP. Everything is affected. Every lesson, sejarah, geography, all affected. Okay, not only math and sciences, but our initiative needs to be there. I love what one of our teachers in Lawas did when he was still in SK Long Sukang. I think everyone knows him. Okay, he is famous, Cikgu Muhammad Nazmi. He went all the way. He sent his modules, okay, all the way to his school, okay, and to the kampongs, to the students, so that they are able to learn. So if each of us take that initiative, I think that there is no huge impact or negative impact on our lesson itself, regardless whether it's DLP or not. So I think that's how it helps Do you think it's necessary to reintroduce the buddy support system if necessary for English language teachers to help science? Okay, it's the school initiative. Okay, it's the school initiative. PGBs should play a role here. I'm so sorry, bukan you know, bukan niat saya target PGB di sini, but PGB should actually take the initiative. Okay, it's based on the school. If the school has you know, a large population of teachers that needs that, why not? All right. We just take one extra step. It's just an extra effort. Buddy system is good when you help one another. Okay. Or we can use the word now is mostly peer coaching. Peer coaching is for PLC. Turn your buddy system into a peer coaching, and then you're killing another bird in your school. So you're done with your PLC. Okay. So does it help here? Does it answer the question? I hope it did. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's my question actually.
Oh, okay, Ernest. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. It helps actually. That's why I said I miss school. I miss being in action, doing all these things, you know, being in the midst of the whole thing going around. But I hope that I can do more as an SIP to help others too. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think we will stop here, although there are more questions, but as time is running out. I can also see that there are opinions and ideas in the chat box regarding our topic today. We really appreciate your active participations. With that last question, we have come to the end of our sharing session. Let me brief you a summary of the main points shared by Madam Imelda. So, teaching and learning of mathematics and science in English TLP is doable, as learning language at childhood is easier compared when in adulthood. It is proven there are many benefits of duolinguism. Therefore, as teachers, we must equip ourselves to keep up with the changes for the sake of the nation. Besides that, teachers need to improve on their student engagement skills and implement the 5 important interactive teaching strategies. Also, not forgetting the importance of assessment in the LP by implementing AFL and IBL in the classroom. Besides that, I would like to also stress the point on getting the mentor teacher, the role of SLT, and the importance of PLC in school. Once again, we would like to thank you for allocating your time to join us today. We hope to see you again in other professional gatherings like this in the near future. We would also like to apologize for any technical difficulties throughout the session. Before you leave, don't forget to scan the QR code for the attendance later on. With that, till we meet again, I will pass the floor back to the MC.
Thank you, Cikgu Claire Witilawi. Demikianlah tadi satu perkongsian yang penuh dengan pengisian ilmu yang telah disampaikan oleh Puan Imelda, Billy SI Partners PPD Sibu. Kita merakamkan terima kasih sekali lagi kepada Puan Imelda ya kerana sudi bersama dengan kita dari pukul 2 sehingga pukul hampir pukul 4. Ya, terima kasih. Di sebalik mendung serata bumi ada cahaya, ada mentari, ya. Dan kita tak melengahkan lagi. Ucapan KPPD bukan mengakhiri, memberi semangat penuh berterima. Dengan ini kita persilakan yang dihormati Cikgu Azbi bin Ansih, Ketua Pegawai Pendidikan Darul Semenyan, selaku penasihat Hatu Penjan untuk menyampaikan ucapan. Dipersilakan. Sambil dulu.
Terima kasih pengurusi majlis kita. Cikgu Wan syukran. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbi israh li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Salam sejahtera. Salam menjulang pendidikan Sarawak. Salam Ibu Pertiwiku. Salam Simunjan Awesome, Sahsiah terpuji memacu prestasi. Fly kenyalang fly.
Fly high.
Terima kasih sekali lagi kepada pengacara majlis Yang Berusaha Tuan Haji Husaini bin Bakir, Ketua Bahagian Pentadbiran Sumber dan Keuangan Master. Yang Berusaha Puan Emelda Billy, SIP Partners, PPD Sibu. Terima kasih atas perkongsian yang cukup hebat pada petang ini. Yang Berusaha Tuan SIP PPD Semunjan, Cikgu Muhammad Ibrahim. Yang Berusaha Cikgu Wan Abdullah bin Wan Abu Bakar, Pengurusi Pasukan Pemacu Pendidikan Semunjan, Pacu Penjan, merangkap Yang di-Pertua Majlis Guru Daerah Semunjan, pegawai-pegawai SISC Plus kita, moderator kita pada petang ini Puan Claire Witilawi bersama dengan Cikgu Anas, pengetua dan guru besar serta guru-guru AKP Daerah Semunjan, tuan-tuan, puan-puan sidang pendengar maya kita pada petang ini. Terima kasih atas kerja sama tuan-tuan, sehingga ke hampir pukul 4 ini kita masih lagi bersama dalam majlis kita pada petang ini. Terlebih dahulu, sekali lagi saya ingin merapatkan kesyukuran kepada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana dengan limpah kurnianya sekali lagi program kita pada petang ini berjaya dilangsungkan dengan cukup sempurna. Walaupun kita ketahui beberapa ketersekatan dalam teknikal pada petang ini, namun ia tidak mematahkan semangat kita untuk meneruskan program kita pada petang ini. Syukur Alhamdulillah. Moga program yang kita bawa pada petang ini dapat memkukuhkan lagi dasar Kementerian Pelajaran kita, iaitu MBI, MBI. Right. Jadi atas kerjaan ini saya sekali lagi mengucapkan syukur kepada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kerana kita berjaya melaksanakannya pada petang ini. Dan sekali lagi saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada semua panel kita daripada pagi tadi, dan juga tetamu jemputan khas kita, YB Datuk Seri Hajah Nancy Syukri, Menteri Pelancongan Seni dan Budaya, merangkap Ahli Parlimen Batang Sado, Yang Berusaha Dr. Azhar Haji Ahmad, Pengarah Bahagian Profesional Guru Kementerian Pendidikan, Yang Berusaha Dr. Abang Hud bin Abang Ingkeh, Timbalan Pengarah Sektor Pengurusan Perancangan Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak, Yang Berusaha Dr. Lambat Lindo, Pengarah IPG Kampus Batu Lintang. Jadi dalam perkara yang telah dimaklumkan ataupun ditemubual pada pagi tadi, terdapat beberapa perkara yang telah dilontarkan oleh penceramah kita, iaitu yang pertama, tuntutan global terhadap kompetensi sumber manusia, dunia VUCA, revolusi 4.0. Kita maklum bahawa dunia sekarang ini menghadapi pandemik COVID, maka timbul ketidaktentuan ini dalam dunia kita dan kita harus berani menghadapinya. Yang kedua, transformasi pendidikan dan profesional keguruan yang mutakhir dalam konteks untuk mencapai hala tuju dan matlamat DLP Sarawak, dan begitu juga DLP Malaysia umumnya. Kemudian yang seterusnya adalah berkaitan TS25 sebagai satu inisiatif jangka panjang untuk melahirkan sekolah berkualiti dan mencapai matlamat kemenjadian murid. Seterusnya ialah perlunya tindakan kesepaduan dalam kalangan kepimpinan, daripada atas hinggalah kepimpinan bawahan dalam menterjemahkan pelaksanaannya. Peranan kepimpinan di KPM, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri, PPD dan sekolah untuk menyokong pelaksanaan DLP Sarawak. Seterusnya, keperluan anjakan perubahan sikap dalam kalangan guru-guru di Sarawak khususnya dalam memastikan sokongan dan dokongan terhadap transformasi pendidikan negara dan juga Sarawak khususnya. Seterusnya ialah keperluan dan keupayaan DLP untuk menyediakan sumber manusia yang kompetitif pada masa hadapan untuk memenuhi keperluan TVET dan STEM. Seterusnya ialah penekanan terhadap keperluan laporan, pemantauan dan tindakan berterusan terhadap pelaksanaan DLP Sarawak oleh Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri, PPD serta sekolah. Jadi inilah perkara-perkara yang telah diterjemahkan oleh panel kita pada sebelah pagi tadi. Dan untuk pada petang ini, daripada perkongsian amalan bermanfaat daripada Puan Emelda, Pegawai SIP PPD Sibu, telah menggarapkan beberapa perkara yang telah kita fahami pada petang ini. Yang pertama, keperluan setiap guru dalam memahami kandungan, kemahiran kandungan terhadap perkara-perkara yang perlu dalam DSKP. Yang kedua, seterusnya ialah setiap guru harus mempunyai kompetensi yang baik dalam menguasai bahasa Inggeris, supaya pengajaran dan pembelajaran di dalam kelas lebih bermakna. Seterusnya, kreativiti guru hendaklah ditekankan dalam usaha kita nak memastikan daya tarikan dalam pengajaran dan pembelajaran di dalam kelas. Jadi banyak lagi perkara-perkara yang beliau sampaikan tadi, insya-Allah untuk kita fahami dan kita ambil sebagai ilmu dan panduan kepada kita. Namun begitu, kerjasama padu dalam kalangan guru, sokongan kepada guru-guru daripada kepimpinan sekolah mesti dan sentiasa dilakukan agar mereka lebih bermotivasi. Begitu juga motivasi kepada pelajar-pelajar kita hendaklah dilakukan. Yang berhormat ahli-ahli panel serta warga maya yang saya hormati, kecaknaan dan komitmen semua pihak amat dituntut untuk memastikan semua dasar program yang diamanahkan kepada kita sebagai pemimpin pendidikan dan mesti merancang, fokus dan sentiasa berkolaborasi dengan jabatan-jabatan kerajaan, agensi-agensi luar serta masyarakat yang menjadi pendorong kepada anak-anak pelajar kita, terutama sekali anak-anak pelajar kita yang berada di rumah dalam keadaan mereka kekurangan dari berbagai segi. Jika kita dapat menggarapkan semua ini, maka insya-Allah perkara yang kita akan rancang dan laksanakan insya-Allah akan tercapai. Akhir kata, saya sekali lagi mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Datuk Seri Hajah Nancy, pihak Minister, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak, ahli-ahli panel yang telah terlibat, yang telah kita undang pada hari ini untuk memastikan kejayaan program kita dapat dilaksanakan dengan sempurnanya. Diharap melalui inisiatif PPD Semunjan dan kerjasama pasukan pemacu pendidikan Semunjan, Majlis Guru Besar Daerah Semunjan dan Persatuan Pengetua Sekolah Menengah Zon Semarahan Semunjan mampu memacu usaha murni ini. Kita juga mengucapkan jutaan terima kasih kepada semua peserta maya yang beri sokongan dan dukungan kepada program kita pada hari ini. Kita di PPD Semunjan memohon maaf jika ada kekurangan sepanjang program ini berlangsung. Maka segala kekuatan yang terselah ambillah sebagai amalan dan teladan. Sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kita ucapkan kepada yang kita hormati Cikgu Hasbi bin Ancih, Ketua Pegawai Pendidikan dari Semunjan atas ucapan tadi. Seterusnya, Majlis dengan rasa bangganya mempersilakan yang berbahagia Tuan Haji Husini bin Bakir, Pentadbiran Pengurusan Sumber Manusia dan Keuangan, Kementerian Pendidikan Sains dan Penyelidikan Teknologi Sarawak atau Master, untuk menyampaikan ucapan penangguhan majlis kita yang berlangsung sepanjang hari ini. Dengan rasa penuh takzimnya, majlis mempersilakan.
Testing, boleh enggak? Assalamualaikum.
Boleh. Assalamualaikum.
Jelas.
Jelas.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Terima kasih saudara pengacara majlis yang berusaha, Cikgu Hasbi, Ketua PPD Semunjan, yang berusaha Cikgu Wan Abdullah, pengurusi Pacu Penjan ada, yang saya hormati Cikgu Imelda, yang masih bersama kita, tuan-tuan, puan-puan, keluarga pendidik sekalian. Alhamdulillah, sama-sama kita merapat bersyukuran kepada Allah Subhanahu wa taala atas limpah dan kurnianya kita sempat bersama-sama mengikuti sesi bual bicara pendidikan pada hari ini. Jadi saya bagi pihak Setiausaha Tetap Kementerian Pendidikan, Sains dan Penyelidikan Teknologi ingin menyampaikan salam Setiausaha Tetap karena beliau si dapat bersama kita pada Padang Tok yang sedang bercuti. Jadi saya nyampe salamnya dengan lafaz Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jadi di kesempatan itu saya merekamkan ucapan terima kasih kepada pihak penganjur kerana sudi menjemput dan memberi peluang kepada Mesta untuk berfungsi seterusnya merasmi penangguhan program bual bicara pendidikan PPD Semunjan pada kali ini. Sehubungan dengan itu, bagi pihak Kementerian Pendidikan, Sains dan Penyelidikan Teknologi Sarawak khususnya dan juga Kerajaan Negeri Sarawak secara umumnya, saya ingin merakamkan ucapan setinggi-tinggi tahniah dan terima kasih kepada PPD Semunjan atas inisiatif yang telah diusahakan. Saya juga ingin mengucapkan tahniah kepada pasukan pemacu, kacak nama itu, Pacu Penjan, yang baru saja diwujudkan, yang mana saya dipahamkan, dianggotai oleh Majlis Guru Besar Daerah Semunjan dan pesara-pesara perkhidmatan pendidikan daerah Semunjan. Saya nanggap itu adalah satu perkongsian yang bagus dan gabungan yang baik. Pengalaman guru-guru yang pesara digabung dengan guru-guru yang sedang berkhidmat. Seperti yang kita sedia maklum, DLP ataupun Dual Language Program yang dilaksanakan di semua sekolah kebangsaan di Negeri Sarawak dah masuk tahun kedua yang ingin memulakan pada tahun lepas. Pelaksanaan ini bagi menyokong dasar memertabatkan bahasa Malaysia dan memperkukuhkan bahasa Inggeris. Sudah pastinya harapan besar kerajaan negeri terhadap inisiatif ini adalah untuk membolehkan di seluruh negeri ini supaya suatu masa nanti akan mampu mengakses maklumat berkaitan ilmu sains dan pendidikan melalui penguasaan bahasa Inggeris yang baik bagi memudahkan pembelajaran secara global. Seiring dengan keperluan revolusi industri 4.0, kita lebih kenalnya IR 4.0. Malahan pelaksanaan usaha ini juga sangat signifikan dan relevan untuk menyokong matlamat Kerajaan Sarawak untuk mencapai status negeri berpendapatan tinggi menjelang tahun 2030. InsyaAllah, besarlah harapan kita matlamat ini mampu sama-sama kita realisasikan. Kita perlu sedar bahawa segala harapan dan matlamat yang saya sebutkan tadi bukan suatu yang mudah dan mampu dicapai dalam sekelip mata atau dicapai dalam tempoh setahun atau 2 tahun. Program ini merupakan satu inisiatif jangka panjang. Kalau kita congak mulai tahun awal pelaksanaannya, yang di tahun lepas, dalam tempoh persekolahan wajib di Malaysia adalah 11 tahun. Kohort pertama yang tahun lepas merupakan yang akan menduduki SPM pada tahun 2030. Jadi macam ni hasilnya kelak, inilah satu persoalan dan akan menjadi tanggungjawab yang perlu kita sama-sama garas. Kita amat yakin dengan sokongan dan usaha pihak pengurusan Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak, pejabat pendidikan daerah, para pemimpin dan guru-guru di sekolah akan sentiasa committed untuk melaksanakan matlamat di LP Sarawak. Kementerian Pendidikan Sains dan Penyelidikan Teknologi Sarawak, kita lebih kenalnya MESTA, mewakili kerajaan negeri amat menghargai segala bentuk kerjasama dan komitmen warga pendidik seluruhnya, terutama yang di bumi penyalang tu. Tuan-tuan, puan-puan warga pendidik, jadi atas dasar kesedaran bahawa matlamat besar ini bukannya mudah untuk dicapai. Apatah lagi dalam konteks negeri Sarawak yang mempunyai bentuk geografi yang sangat luas. Banyak halangan-halangan lain yang kita sudah sedia maklum. Maka pelaksanaan di LP Sarawak kita mulakan dengan murid tahun 1 pada tahun lepas. Dengan itu kita yakin dalam tempoh 11 tahun persekolahan, anak-anak murid ataupun anak-anak didik kita akan mampu menguasai ilmu sains dan matematik melalui penguasaan bahasa Inggeris. Pada masa yang sama, MESTA juga semampu yang boleh akan sentiasa menyokong usaha KPM, JPNS, PPD, sekolah-sekolah seluruh Sarawak dengan menyediakan keperluan dan kemudahan yang sepatutnya. Untuk makluman, Kerajaan Sarawak telah memperuntukkan sebanyak 10 juta pada tahun 2019 dan tahun 2020 sebagai langkah permulaan untuk memastikan pelaksanaan pengajaran dan pembelajaran subjek sains, matematik dalam bahasa Inggeris berjalan dengan lebih berkesan. Setakat ini antara usaha yang telah dilaksanakan oleh MESTA dengan kerjasama erat pihak JPNS bagi melaksanakan di LP Sarawak antaranya pertama, kita menyediakan modul untuk train the trainer yang melibatkan tenaga pakar dari pihak IPGM dan juga English Language Teaching Center serta JPNS. Yang kedua, kita adakan bengkel latihan untuk train the trainers yang sedang berjalan masa itu, tapi kita tengah ada kekangan juga ya, kekangan COVID semasa. Yang ketiga, latihan dan kursus untuk semua guru di LP sekolah rendah yang melibatkan guru tahun 1 hingga 3. Yang keempat, pencetakan dan pengagihan buku teks dan buku kerja subjek sains dan matematik untuk tahun 1 dan tahun 2. Yang kelima, buku National Geographic itu adalah sebagai bahan rujukan tambahan ke semua sekolah rendah di seluruh Sarawak. Keenam, pembekalan buku bantuan mengajar Teachers Guidebook ke seluruh sekolah rendah di Sarawak. Yang ketujuh, pemantauan dan kunjungan bantu pelaksanaan DLP di semua sekolah oleh MESTA bersama dengan JPNS. Jadi bagi memastikan kejayaan jangka panjang pelaksanaan program DLP Sarawak, pihak MESTA akan terus memberi sokongan yang sewajarnya terhadap program ini. Program-program latihan yang berterusan untuk para guru dan pemimpin sekolah serta pembekal bahan pengajaran dan pembelajaran akan diteruskan mengikut keperluan semasa. Tuan-tuan, puan-puan, warga pendidik yang saya hormati, selain program DLP Sarawak, Kerajaan Sarawak melalui Master juga menyedari tentang beberapa cabaran utama yang dihadapi dalam pelaksanaan PDP di sekolah-sekolah. Sehubungan dengan itu, kerajaan negeri juga pada tahun ini telah memperuntukkan sejumlah bagi tujuan memberi TPD yang kita lebih kenal Continuous Professional Development, khusus untuk membantu guru-guru bukan option dalam subjek sains, matematik dan bahasa Inggeris, di mana ia akan melibatkan lebih kurang 3,600 guru bukan option. Mr. yakin bahawa program CPD ini mampu untuk meningkatkan lagi tahap kompetensi guru-guru yang terlibat. Tuan-tuan, puan-puan yang saya hormati sekalian, pada kesempatan ini saya ingin mengucapkan tahniah pada pihak penganjur atas inisiatif untuk mewar-warkan DLP Sarawak. Saya harap perkongsian pada sebelah pagi tadi oleh Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Nancy, Yang Berusaha Dr. Abang Hud dan Yang Berusaha Dr. Lambat telah dapat memberi manfaat untuk memperkasakan pendidikan sekolah-sekolah dan memperkasakan profesionalisme para guru, khususnya guru-guru DLP. Begitu juga perkongsian oleh Cikgu Imelda sekejap tadi lah. Dan pada sebelah petang yang dikongsikan oleh Bunda tadi yang kita telah sama-sama dengar. Jadi mulang kata Cikgu Imelda tadi lah, yang ada macam ni pengajar dia jualnya. So saya ambil kata-kata Cendekiawan Hamka. Janganlah kita takut jatuh, kerana yang tidak pernah memanjatlah yang tidak pernah jatuh. Janganlah takut gagal, kerana yang tidak pernah gagal hanyalah orang yang tidak pernah melangkah. Janganlah takut salah, kerana dengan kesalahan yang pertama kita dapat menambah pengetahuan untuk mencari jalan yang benar pada langkah yang kedua. Jadi kata-kata penuh inspirasi ini wajar untuk kita renungi dalam usaha kita menjayakan program DLP Sarawak. Saya percaya kita berhadapan dengan pelbagai rintangan untuk mencapai puncak kejayaan DLP Sarawak. Tetapi kita tidak boleh berhenti. Kita perlu terus bergerak sambil memikirkan penyelesaian yang terbaik. Kita perlu berganding bahu, sedia berkongsi rahsia kejayaan antara satu sama lain dan sentiasa kreatif serta berinovatif untuk memastikan kejayaan. Akhir kata, bagi pihak Kerajaan Sarawak dan Mesta, saya sekali lagi merakamkan jutaan terima kasih kepada KPM, JPNS atas sokongan dan komitmen bagi menjayakan DLP Sarawak, khusus untuk PPD Semunjan dan tim Pacu Penjan. Saya ucapkan sabas, tahniah dan terima kasih atas usaha murni yang telah dilaksanakan dan juga akan dilaksanakan. Malahan saya difahamkan bahawa pihak Pacu Penjan telah merangka beberapa CD program seperti Smarter Phonic, Bengkel Penghasilan BBMDLP dan sebagainya yang akan dilaksanakan sebagai inisiatif memperkasa DLP Sarawak, khususnya untuk sekolah-sekolah di kawasan PPD Semunjan. Pihak Mesta sentiasa menyambut baik dan menyokong usaha begini. Semoga segala perancangan akan dipermudahkan dan dapat dilaksanakan dengan jayanya. Akhir kalam dengan lafaz yang mulia, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Saya menangguhkan program Warbicara Pendidikan PPD Semunjan tahun 2022. Sekian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih.
Adlin, Majlis merakamkan jutaan terima kasih yang tidak terhingga atas ucapan penangguhan tadi yang telah disempurnakan oleh Yang Berbahagia Tuan Haji Husini bin Bakir, Ketua Bahagian Pentadbiran Pengurusan Sumber Manusia dan Keuangan, Kementerian Pendidikan Sains dan Penyelidikan Teknologi Sarawak. Sekali lagi kita merakamkan jutaan terima kasih. Maka selesailah sudah majlis yang penuh bermakna pada hari ini. Saya bagi pihak jawatankuasa majlis dan pihak Pacu Penjan, Pejabat Pendidikan Darah Semunjan bersama dengan Majlis Besar Darah Semunjan mengucapkan jutaan terima kasih yang tidak terhingga di atas kesudian semua kita yang menjayakan program yang julung-julung kali kita adakan. Kalau ada sumur di ladang, boleh saya menumpang mandi. Kalau ada umur yang panjang, di lain masa berjumpa lagi. Selamat Hari Raya Aidiladha. Akhir kata, saya memohon berbanyak-banyak maaf jika terdapat sebarang kesilapan atas kesilapan teknikal dan sebagainya sepanjang kita mengendalikan majlis ini. Yang baik itu datang dari Allah dan yang buruk itu datangnya dari kita sendiri. Saya sudahi majlis dengan wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih semua.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.